Hello, this is Russell Hawley coming to you from the Tate Geological Museum in Wyoming, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about fossil whales. Now, fossil whales have never been found in Wyoming, and they never will, because by the time whales came along, Wyoming was up out of the ocean, high and dry and destined never again to be covered by salt water. So if you want to find fossil whales, you need to look elsewhere. They've been found in Pakistan, North Africa, Florida. The one that I'm going to show you in a moment was found in Louisiana. So they can be found, you just have to dig outside of Wyoming to find them. Now, whales have a number of features that are in the bony anatomy that you do not see in land animals. And to illustrate those, I'm going to compare some teeth of a whale with the teeth of a modern land animal. And I believe you all recognize this. We've used this guy as an example many times before. This is, of course, a modern dog. A domestic dog. And like other land mammals, the domestic dog has several different kinds of teeth in its mouth. Do you remember what those teeth are? How about these ones in the front, the cutting teeth? You remember that? Those are the incisors, right. And then behind that, the stabbing canines. Behind that, you've got the shearing premolars, and then the molars in the very back. A enlarged carnassial blade, and then a crusher back there for chewing the food. Now, here's the thing. If you're a whale, you don't want to chew your food, because if your head is underwater and you're chewing food with your mouth, while you're doing that, you drown. So what whales do is they just grab a fish and they swallow it down whole. They don't chew their food at all. So their teeth are just used for grabbing and holding prey animals, not for chewing. And in order to do that, all you need is a row of identical little pointy fish grabber teeth. And that's what we're looking at here. This is the rostrum, the snout of a common dolphin. And there are no incisors, no canines, no premolars or molars. All the teeth are pretty much exactly the same, just like a row of little golf tees. Now, this kind of dentition, with all the teeth looking pretty much the same, is called the homodont dentition. All the teeth are the same. A land animal, like a dog, has what's called a heterodont dentition. The teeth are all different shapes and sizes for different functions. Now, what do we see in a fossil whale? Well, right up above me is the skull of an ancient whale from Louisiana. This is Basilosaurus. And I'm sorry about the name. It's a lousy name. It makes it sound like it's a dinosaur, but it's not. It's an ancient whale. And here we've got the incisors on our ancient whale, and they are modified into stabbing cone-shaped teeth, good for grabbing slippery fish. Behind that, we've got the canines. The upper one's broken off, but we've got the lower canine right here, and it is a stabbing cone, good for grabbing fish. And then the first premolar right here is also a stabbing cone. So from the first premolar forward, the teeth are all pretty much the same. Then we've got the cheek teeth. And this is the second premolar here, third and fourth there, and then the molars back there. And these teeth are modified into double-edged saw blades. And that's good for chopping and tearing and crushing. So from the second premolar back, the teeth are all pretty much the same. So we've got a mix here. It's not fully heterodont dentition, but it's not fully homodont yet either. It's a transitional stage as whales evolved from land-dwelling ancestors with differentiated teeth into the sort of modern dentition that we see in the whales of today. Now, the other thing that's changed with whales is the position of the nostrils. In modern land animals, the nostrils are usually at the tip of the snout, far forward. In a dog, this makes all kinds of sense because, of course, the dog follows its nose as it's tracking its prey down by scent. Whales have the nostrils above and in between the eyes, on top of the head. This is a very good arrangement if you want to be able to swim and breathe at the same time. And whales have done this over their evolutionary history by elongating the premaxilla bones. So the premaxilla bones are quite short in the dog here, but in a whale, like on the rostrum of this dolphin, they have been greatly elongated, or telescoped, as paleontologists put it, and that shifted the nostril opening right up onto the top of the critter's head. Here we see the top of a Basilosaurus skull from above. And here we've got the nasal opening. So it's not at the tip of the snout as it is in a land animal like a dog, but with the elongation of those premaxilla bones and the retraction of those nasal bones, it has been shifted onto the top of the snout to make it easier to breathe and swim. And then in a modern whale, like say a sperm whale, those premaxilla bones have become even more elongated and the nasal bone even more retracted, and now the nasal opening is right up on top of the animal's head. In the sperm whale, there's a fleshy tube that opens out at the front of the snout. So evolution sort of did a U-turn in that particular case.